Emotional control is the foundation of true strength. Many people believe that reacting to their emotions is natural, that expressing every feeling is a sign of honesty or authenticity. However, the reality is quite different. The moment you allow your emotions to dictate your actions, you give up control over your life. People who lack emotional discipline often make impulsive decisions that they later regret. They allow temporary feelings to influence long-term outcomes, which can lead to unnecessary conflicts, lost opportunities, and self-sabotage. True strength is not about suppressing emotions, but mastering them, using them as a tool rather than being used by them. Imagine two people in the same difficult situation. One person reacts emotionally, shouting, panicking, or blaming others. The other stays calm, analyzes the situation logically, and takes action based on reason rather than impulse. Who do you think will handle the situation better? Who will gain more respect, make better decisions, and ultimately succeed? The answer is obvious. The person who controls their emotions holds the advantage in any challenge life throws at them. Weak people justify their emotional outbursts by saying, "That's just how I feel," as if that alone is a valid reason to act irrationally. But successful individuals know that feelings are unreliable. They understand that just because you feel something strongly in the moment does not mean it should dictate your behavior. They recognize that emotions fluctuate, and acting on a fleeting emotion can lead to long-term consequences. If you make decisions based on anger, jealousy, or sadness, you risk damaging your relationships, your reputation, and your future. In high-stress situations, emotional control is the difference between winning and losing. Look at athletes, military leaders, or top-level executives. The ones who excel under pressure are those who can remain calm and composed, even in the face of adversity. They don't panic when things go wrong. They don't allow frustration to cloud their judgment. Instead, they rely on discipline, training, and logic to navigate challenges effectively. This is why emotional control is not just a skill. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to be successful in life. People who let their emotions control them are easily manipulated. The world is filled with individuals who will try to provoke you, test you, and push you to react. If you are easily angered, offended, or overwhelmed, you become predictable and weak. Those who can control their emotions, on the other hand, are untouchable. They don't give others the power to control their mood, reactions, or decisions. They remain focused on their goals, unshaken by distractions or negativity. One of the biggest misconceptions about emotional control is that it means suppressing feelings. This is not true. Suppression means ignoring emotions, which can be harmful in the long run. Control, however, means acknowledging emotions without letting them dictate your actions. It means recognizing anger without letting it turn into aggression. It means feeling disappointment without letting it turn into self-pity. It means experiencing fear without letting it stop you from taking action. Emotional discipline is developed through practice. It starts with self-awareness, recognizing your triggers and understanding how emotions influence your behavior. When you feel a strong emotion, take a moment before reacting. Ask yourself, is this response logical? Will it help me or will it hurt me? The simple act of pausing before reacting can prevent many unnecessary mistakes. With time, controlling emotions becomes second nature, allowing you to approach life with a clear mind and unwavering focus. Emotional control also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. Those who lack emotional discipline crumble under pressure, while those who have mastered their emotions remain strong. They don't let failures break them. They don't allow temporary setbacks to define them. Instead, they analyze their mistakes, learn from them, and move forward with greater wisdom. This ability to remain steady, even in the face of adversity, is what separates successful people from the rest. When you control your emotions, you control your destiny. You are no longer at the mercy of external events or other people's opinions. You become the kind of person who is respected, trusted, and admired. You gain the ability to stay calm in arguments, to remain patient in frustrating situations, and to make wise decisions even when emotions run high. Instead of being ruled by fleeting feelings, you operate from a place of strength, logic, and purpose. Mastering emotional control is not easy, but it is essential. It requires constant effort, but the rewards are undeniable. When you learn to govern your emotions instead of being governed by them, you gain a level of power that most people will never experience. You become the type of person who can handle any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and achieve any goal. Emotional control is not just an advantage, it is a necessity for anyone who wants to rise above the average and create a life of true success. Emotional control is a defining trait of strong and successful individuals. The ability to regulate emotions instead of allowing them to dictate actions is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who struggle with instability. Many people mistakenly believe that their emotions are uncontrollable, that feelings like anger, frustration, or sadness should be expressed without restraint. However, the reality is that emotional control is not about denying emotions, it is about mastering them. It is about recognizing when emotions arise and choosing a response that serves your best interests rather than acting impulsively and regretting it later. When emotions take control, they cloud judgment. People who allow their emotions to guide their decisions often react in ways that are counterproductive. A moment of uncontrolled anger can destroy relationships. A decision made in fear can lead to missed opportunities. A wave of sadness can cause inaction and stagnation. The inability to manage emotions creates unnecessary suffering, making life far more difficult than it needs to be. On the other hand, Those who control their emotions remain steady regardless of external circumstances. They do not let temporary feelings push them into actions they will regret. Instead, they respond with logic, discipline, and a focus on their long-term goals. In difficult situations, emotional control determines who rises above and who collapses under pressure. Two people can face the same challenge, yet their responses can lead to completely different outcomes. One person overwhelmed by emotions might react with frustration, anger, or self-pity. They may lash out, blame others, or give up entirely. The other person, maintaining composure, assesses the situation rationally and takes calculated steps toward a solution. This ability to stay calm and collected allows them to find opportunities where others see only obstacles. It gives them the upper hand in conflicts, negotiations, and leadership roles. People respect those who can keep their emotions in check, as it signifies strength, maturity, and reliability. A lack of emotional control makes a person vulnerable. When others can easily provoke you, they can manipulate you. People who react impulsively based on emotion are predictable and easy to exploit. They get defensive when criticized, lose their temper when challenged, and struggle to stay composed when things do not go their way. This lack of control not only damages their personal and professional relationships, but also limits their ability to achieve success. On the contrary, those who control their emotions maintain an air of authority and stability. They do not allow external factors to dictate their mood or behavior. They remain unshaken by negativity, able to think clearly and act decisively even in the most stressful situations. Some believe that controlling emotions means suppressing them, but this is a misconception. Suppressing emotions means ignoring them, which can lead to long-term emotional distress. Control, however, means acknowledging emotions without being ruled by them. It means recognizing anger but not letting it turn into aggression. It means experiencing disappointment without sinking into despair. It means feeling fear but not allowing it to stop forward progress. Emotional control is about balance. It is about processing emotions in a way that allows for rational decision making and constructive action. Developing emotional control requires practice and self-awareness. It starts with recognizing emotional triggers and understanding how emotions influence behavior. When faced with a strong emotion, taking a moment to pause before reacting can make all the difference. Asking questions like, is this response logical? Or will this action help me in the long run? Can prevent rash decisions. Over time, controlling emotions becomes second nature, creating a mindset that is resilient, focused, and goal-oriented. Emotional control also leads to greater inner peace. People who lack control over their emotions often live in a constant state of stress and turmoil. They are easily frustrated, frequently upset, and quick to anger. Their minds are consumed with worry, regret, and resentment. However, those who master their emotions do not allow small inconveniences or temporary setbacks to disrupt their mental state. They remain calm and composed, handling situations with a clear and steady mind. This ability to maintain emotional balance not only improves decision-making but also enhances overall well-being. Beyond personal benefits, emotional control is essential for leadership and influence. Leaders who cannot regulate their emotions struggle to earn respect and trust. Those who react impulsively, lash out under pressure, or let emotions dictate their decisions lose credibility. On the other hand, leaders who remain composed and rational inspire confidence. They make better choices, handle conflicts effectively, and set an example for others. People naturally gravitate toward those who exhibit emotional strength because they provide a sense of stability and assurance in uncertain situations. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Those who lack emotional control will find themselves constantly overwhelmed by circumstances beyond their control. They will struggle with frustration, stress, and regret. But those who master their emotions will navigate life with confidence and resilience. They will adapt to challenges, remain focused under pressure, and take control of their destiny. Emotional control is not just a skill, it is a necessity for success. It is the key to unlocking potential, maintaining strong relationships, and achieving goals without being derailed by temporary feelings. Those who develop this ability gain undeniable advantage in every area of life. Emotional control is the true mark of strength. Many people believe that acting on emotions is natural, that expressing every feeling they have is a sign of honesty and authenticity. However, the reality is far different. The moment emotions take control over actions, logical thinking is compromised. Feelings like anger, frustration, and sadness are temporary, yet when acted upon impulsively, they can cause permanent damage. The ability to regulate emotions instead of letting them dictate decisions is what separates those who succeed from those who struggle. Life is full of challenges, and those who master emotional control gain a significant advantage over those who allow their emotions to rule them. People who lack emotional control often find themselves in unnecessary conflicts. A moment of uncontrolled anger can destroy relationships, a reaction based on jealousy can create distrust, and a decision made out of fear can lead to missed opportunities. Emotional outbursts, whether in personal or professional settings, reduce credibility. When a person constantly reacts without thinking, others begin to see them as unstable, unreliable, and weak. Strength is not in emotional outbursts, it is in emotional mastery. Those who can remain calm under pressure are respected and trusted because they show discipline in moments when others lose control. The ability to manage emotions is critical in high-stress situations. Two people may face the same difficulty, yet their responses can lead to completely different outcomes. One person consumed by frustration or panic may react in a way that worsens the situation. They might lash out, complain, or become paralyzed by their emotions, unable to think clearly. The other person, maintaining control, stays composed and approaches the challenge with a rational mindset. They do not waste time blaming others or feeling sorry for themselves. Instead, they focus on solutions, adapt to the situation, and take action that moves them forward. This is why emotional control is not just about avoiding conflict or negativity. It is about making better decisions that lead to success. A lack of emotional discipline makes a person vulnerable to manipulation. The world is filled with people who will try to provoke a reaction, whether in an argument, in business, or in daily interactions. Those who are easily triggered become predictable, and therefore easy to control. If someone can make another person angry or upset at will, they can steer that person's actions in a direction that benefits them. Emotional control removes that weakness. When emotions are mastered, no one else holds power over actions or reactions. Instead of being reactive, a person with emotional control remains composed and makes decisions based on logic, not impulse. There is a common misconception that controlling emotions means suppressing them. Suppression means ignoring emotions, which can lead to long-term stress and even health problems. Emotional control is different. It does not mean denying feelings, but rather managing them in a way that does not lead to destructive behavior. It means recognizing anger, but not letting it turn into aggression. It means experiencing disappointment, but not allowing it to lead to self-doubt. It means acknowledging fear, but refusing to let it prevent action. Emotional control is about balance. It allows a person to process emotions in a way that leads to rational decision making rather than reckless reactions. Developing emotional control requires self-awareness and consistent effort. Recognizing emotional triggers is the first step. Understanding what situations or words provoke a strong emotional response makes it easier to manage reactions. The ability to pause before responding is a powerful tool. Instead of acting impulsively, taking a few moments to analyze the situation allows emotions to settle, making it easier to respond with logic instead of pure feeling. Over time, this practice strengthens emotional discipline, turning it into a natural part of behavior. Emotional control also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. Those who lack control over their emotions allow failures to consume them. They become discouraged, lose motivation, or react with frustration instead of learning from their mistakes. Those who master emotional discipline, however, view setbacks as temporary obstacles. They do not let disappointment weaken their resolve. Instead, they adjust their approach, learn from their experiences, and continue moving forward with determination. This ability to remain steady and focused even in difficult times, is what separates those who rise above challenges from those who are defeated by them. A person who controls their emotions also controls their environment. Others respect and admire those who remain calm and collected in every situation. Leaders who exhibit emotional discipline inspire confidence in those around them. In contrast, those who react impulsively lose their temper or become overwhelmed by emotions lose credibility. People naturally gravitate toward those who demonstrate stability and self-control, making emotional mastery a powerful tool for influence and leadership. Every day presents situations where emotional control makes a difference. In personal relationships, staying calm in disagreements leads to better communication and resolution. In business, remaining composed under pressure strengthens decision-making. In competitive environments, the ability to control emotions separates winners from those who let their feelings dictate their actions. Emotional control is not about being cold or detached. It is about being strong enough to manage emotions instead of being controlled by them. Mastering emotions takes time and effort, but the rewards are undeniable. Those who let emotions rule their lives face constant difficulties, broken relationships, and missed opportunities. But those who develop emotional discipline gain an edge over others. They remain focused, resilient, and powerful in every situation. When emotions are controlled, nothing can shake a person's confidence or determination. Emotional control is the key to achieving success, building strong relationships, and maintaining an unshakable mindset that leads to victory in every area of life. Emotional control is a fundamental aspect of strength and success. Many people believe that emotions should be freely expressed at all times, that reacting impulsively is a sign of being real or authentic. However, true power lies in the ability to regulate emotions rather than allowing them to dictate behavior. People who lack control over their emotions often find themselves in difficult situations, whether in personal relationships, professional settings, or decision-making. They allow fleeting feelings to shape their responses, which can lead to regret, conflict, and missed opportunities. On the other hand, those who master emotional control maintain stability and composure, allowing them to navigate life with a clear mind and strategic thinking. In any given situation, emotions can either be a tool or a weakness. When someone is ruled by their emotions, they become predictable and easy to manipulate. Anger, frustration, jealousy, or sadness can be used against them because they react without thinking. Their responses are not based on logic, but on how they feel in the moment, which often leads to poor decisions. A person who controls their emotions, however, remains unaffected by external triggers. They do not allow others to provoke them, and they do not let temporary feelings cloud their judgment. This ability to stay calm under pressure is what gives them an advantage over those who are emotionally unstable. Emotional discipline is particularly important in moments of adversity. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. People who lack control over their emotions tend to panic, break down, or make impulsive decisions that worsen their situation. They let fear hold them back. Anger push them into unnecessary conflicts, or frustration make them quit before they should. In contrast, those who remain composed in difficult times are able to assess the situation logically, adapt, and take action that moves them forward. They do not allow temporary setbacks to define them, nor do they waste time dwelling on negativity. Instead, they focus on solutions and maintain control over their reactions, ensuring that emotions do not hinder their progress. Many people believe that emotional control means suppressing feelings, but this is a misconception. Suppression involves ignoring emotions, which can lead to long-term stress and emotional instability. Emotional control, however, is about managing emotions effectively. It means acknowledging feelings without being consumed by them. It means recognizing when anger arises but choosing not to lash out. It means feeling disappointed without allowing it to turn into self-doubt or inaction. It means experiencing fear but not letting it dictate decisions. Emotional control is about balance, about ensuring that emotions serve a purpose rather than becoming a hindrance. Developing emotional discipline requires self-awareness. Recognizing what triggers strong emotional reactions is the first step toward managing them. When a person understands their emotional patterns, they can anticipate how they might react in certain situations and prepare themselves to respond with logic rather than impulse. Taking a moment to pause before reacting is a simple yet powerful technique. Instead of immediately responding to an emotion, stepping back and analyzing whether the reaction is rational and beneficial can prevent unnecessary mistakes. Over time, practicing this level of control strengthens emotional resilience, making it easier to remain composed in all situations. One of the greatest benefits of emotional control is the respect and trust it earns from others. People naturally admire those who remain calm under pressure. In leadership roles, emotional stability is essential. A leader who reacts impulsively allows emotions to cloud their judgment, or loses their temper will struggle to inspire confidence. Employees, colleagues, and partners respect leaders who can navigate challenges with a level head. The same applies to personal relationships. People are drawn to individuals who are emotionally secure and can handle conflicts of maturity. Those who are easily angered, offended, or overwhelmed by emotions often push others away, damaging relationships and weakening trust. Emotional control also creates an inner sense of peace and stability. Those who let emotions rule their lives often experience constant stress and turmoil. They are frequently upset, easily frustrated, and quick to react negatively to small inconveniences. Their minds are in a state of chaos, bouncing from one emotional reaction to another, leaving them feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. On the other hand, those who master their emotions do not allow external events to disrupt their mental state. They maintain a sense of calm and clarity, which allows them to make better decisions and enjoy a more stable and fulfilling life. Success in any area of life requires discipline, and that includes emotional discipline. In business, those who let emotions dictate their decisions often lose money, damage professional relationships, and miss out on opportunities because they could not remain objective. In competitive environments, whether in sports, business, or personal growth, the ability to stay focused and composed under pressure determines who rises to the top. Emotional control is not about being cold or unfeeling. It is about being strong enough to regulate emotions so that they work in one's favor rather than against them. Every day presents situations where emotional control makes a difference. Whether it is handling a disagreement, dealing with stress, facing criticism, or making a crucial decision, the ability to manage emotions determines the outcome. Those who lack emotional discipline find themselves at the mercy of their feelings, constantly reacting rather than responding. But those who develop emotional control gain power over their own lives. They dictate their actions based on logic and strategy, not fleeting emotions. They build stronger relationships, earn respect, make better decisions, and ultimately achieve more in life because they are not held back by their own emotions. Mastering emotional control takes effort, but it is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. It leads to greater success, stronger relationships, and a more stable mindset. It allows a person to remain calm, focused, and unshaken by external challenges. Those who lack control over their emotions often live in a cycle of stress, conflict, and regret, while those who master emotional discipline move through life with confidence, resilience, and purpose. The ability to manage emotions is not just a personal advantage, it is a necessity for anyone who wants to achieve greatness and maintain control over their own destiny. Emotional control is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. It is the difference between being in charge of one's actions and being a slave to temporary feelings. Many people live their lives reacting to emotions without realizing how much control they have over them. They believe that if they feel angry, frustrated, sad, or afraid, they must act on those emotions immediately. But reacting impulsively based on emotions often leads to regret. Those who fail to control their emotions damage relationships, make poor decisions, and create unnecessary problems for themselves. On the other hand, those who master emotional control have the ability to navigate life with clarity, logic, and a steady mindset. They do not let emotions dictate their behavior, but instead use emotions as tools to help them grow and succeed. One of the biggest reasons emotional control is essential is because it prevents mistakes that come from impulsive reactions. When a person allows emotions to take over, they often say things they do not mean, make choices they later regret, and create unnecessary conflicts. An outburst of anger can ruin a friendship. A moment of frustration can cause someone to quit something they actually wanted to pursue. An emotional reaction to criticism can prevent a person from learning and improving. In contrast, someone who remains composed can process their emotions without allowing them to lead to destructive actions. They recognize when they are feeling a certain way, but they do not act on those feelings until they have evaluated whether their response is truly necessary or beneficial. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about managing them in a way that serves a person's best interests. Many people assume that controlling emotions means ignoring them, but this is not true. Suppressing emotions leads to built-up resentment, stress, and even health issues. The goal is not to avoid emotions, but to understand them. When a person feels angry, instead of yelling or lashing out, they can ask themselves what is causing the anger and whether it is worth reacting to. When they feel disappointed, instead of letting it consume them, they can use that emotion as motivation to improve. When they feel afraid, instead of allowing fear to hold them back, they can analyze whether the fear is rational and if they should push forward anyway. Emotional control allows a person to experience feelings without being controlled by them. A lack of emotional control makes a person easy to manipulate. People who are quick to anger, easily offended, or overly reactive are predictable, and those who understand this can use it against them. If someone knows they can provoke a reaction from another person simply by saying or doing certain things, they hold power over that person. Emotional control removes this weakness. When someone cannot be easily provoked, they become stronger. They maintain control over themselves rather than allowing others to dictate their actions. This is why emotionally disciplined individuals are often respected. They do not let others influence their state of mind, and this ability to remain composed under pressure gives them an advantage in every situation. In high-stress situations, emotional control is what separates those who succeed from those who break under pressure. When faced with adversity, people who lack emotional control panic, make rushed decisions, or give up too soon. They allow fear or frustration to dictate their actions, which often leads to failure. On the other hand, those who remain calm and logical under pressure can think clearly, assess the situation, and take strategic action. They do not allow setbacks to define them. Instead, they use challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. This ability to stay steady, even in difficult moments, is what allows them to overcome obstacles that would destroy others. Beyond personal benefits, emotional control is crucial for leadership and influence. A leader who cannot manage their emotions will struggle to earn respect. If they react emotionally to criticism, lose their temper under stress, or make decisions based on feelings rather than logic, people will see them as weak and unreliable. On the other hand, a leader who remains composed earns the trust and confidence of those around them. People naturally follow those who exhibit strength, and emotional control is one of the greatest signs of inner strength. It shows that a person is capable of handling pressure, thinking clearly, and making rational decisions even when emotions are high. Another benefit of emotional control is the ability to maintain inner peace. Many people who lack emotional discipline live in a constant state of stress, frustration, and unhappiness. They allow small inconveniences to ruin their day, dwell on negative emotions, and react to every situation with heightened sensitivity. This leads to a chaotic and unfulfilling life. In contrast, those who master their emotions experience a greater sense of stability. They do not allow minor problems to disrupt their mental state, and they do not waste time on emotional reactions that do not serve them. They remain focused on their goals and priorities instead of getting caught up in temporary feelings. This emotional stability leads to a more peaceful, productive, and fulfilling life. Developing emotional control takes time and effort, but is a skill that can be built through practice. Self-awareness is the first step. Recognizing which emotions trigger certain reactions allows a person to anticipate their responses and adjust them accordingly. Instead of acting on impulse, taking a moment to pause and reflect before responding can make all the difference. Asking questions like, is this reaction necessary? Or will this emotion help me in this situation? Can help prevent unnecessary mistakes. Over time, the ability to manage emotions becomes second nature, making a person stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling anything life throws their way. Emotional control is one of the most valuable traits a person can develop. Those who lack it struggle with relationships, decision-making, and personal growth. They are constantly at the mercy of their feelings, reacting impulsively and suffering the consequences. But those who master their emotions hold power over themselves and their lives. They navigate challenges with composure, maintain strong relationships, and make decisions that lead to success rather than regret. They are not easily shaken by external events or the words of others. They dictate their actions based on logic and strategy rather than fleeting emotions. The ability to control emotions is not just a skill. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to achieve greatness, build resilience, and take full control of their life. Emotional control is one of the most powerful abilities a person can develop because it directly influences decision-making, relationships, and overall success in life. Many people mistakenly believe that their emotions should dictate their actions, leading them to react impulsively without considering the consequences. However, allowing emotions to take control often results in poor choices, damaged relationships, and unnecessary stress. True strength lies in the ability to acknowledge emotions without allowing them to dominate behavior. Those who master emotional control gain a significant advantage in every aspect of life, as they can navigate challenges with logic and composure instead of reacting out of impulse. One of the biggest problems with a lack of emotional control is that it leads to impulsive decisions that can have long-term consequences. When someone reacts purely based on emotions, they often do things they later regret. Anger can cause a person to say hurtful things, frustration can push someone to quit too soon, and fear can prevent them from taking important risks. These emotional reactions create a cycle of poor decision-making, where a person repeatedly acts on feelings rather than logic. Emotional control prevents these mistakes by allowing a person to step back, analyze the situation rationally, and make choices that serve their best interests rather than just satisfying a temporary emotional response. Another reason emotional control is essential is that it helps prevent manipulation. People who are easily triggered or reactive become predictable, making them easy targets for those who seek to exploit their emotions. When someone knows they can provoke a certain response, they hold power over that person. If they can make someone angry, they can steer them into an argument. If they can make someone feel insecure, they can manipulate their decisions. Emotional control removes this vulnerability. When a person remains composed regardless of the situation, they become difficult to manipulate. They do not allow external forces to dictate their actions, which makes them stronger and more independent. The ability to manage emotions also plays a crucial role in handling stress and adversity. Life is full of unpredictable challenges, and those who lack emotional discipline often struggle to cope when things do not go as planned. Instead of looking for solutions, they allow frustration and anxiety to consume them. They may overreact to setbacks, panic under pressure, or let negative emotions take over, preventing them from thinking clearly. Those who have mastered emotional control, however, remain steady even in difficult situations. They do not allow their emotions to overwhelm them, which enables them to stay focused on finding a way forward. Instead of being controlled by their feelings, they use their emotions as fuel to push through adversity and come out stronger on the other side. In relationships, emotional control is just as important, whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or professional connections. People who cannot regulate their emotions often create unnecessary conflict. They may react aggressively to small disagreements, take things personally when no offense was intended, or allow insecurity to ruin their interactions with others. Emotional outbursts damage trust and respect, making it difficult to build strong, lasting relationships. On the other hand, those who practice emotional control communicate more effectively. They listen before reacting, think before speaking, and respond to situations with understanding rather than impulse. This ability to remain calm and composed earns them respect and helps maintain healthy, meaningful connections with others. Leadership and influence are also closely linked to emotional control. People naturally follow those who exhibit strength and stability. A leader who reacts emotionally to every challenge, loses their temper under pressure, or makes decisions based on feelings rather than facts will struggle to earn respect. Their unpredictability makes others hesitant to trust them, and their inability to handle stress weakens their influence. In contrast, leaders who remain calm and collected inspire confidence in those around them. Their ability to manage emotions allows them to make rational, strategic decisions that benefit the group as a whole. They are not easily shaken by obstacles, which makes them reliable figures that others look up to. Emotional control is one of the defining traits of strong, respected leaders, and those who develop it naturally rise above those who do not. Another major advantage of emotional control is that it contributes to inner peace and stability. Many people who struggle with emotional regulation live in a constant state of stress, frustration, or anxiety. They allow external events and other people's words or actions to dictate how they feel, leading to an unstable emotional state. Small inconveniences can ruin their entire day, and negative emotions linger far longer than they should. This constant emotional turbulence makes it difficult for them to focus, grow, or maintain a sense of fulfillment in life. However, those who develop emotional discipline do not allow minor problems to disrupt their peace. They understand that emotions are temporary and that reacting to every situation with intensity is not productive. By maintaining control over their emotions, they create a sense of mental clarity and balance that allows them to remain focused and move through life with confidence. Developing emotional control requires conscious effort and practice. It starts with self-awareness, understanding what triggers certain emotional reactions and recognizing patterns in behavior. When a person knows what situations typically make them react impulsively, they can prepare themselves to respond differently. A powerful technique for managing emotions is to pause before reacting. Instead of immediately responding to an emotional trigger, taking a deep breath, analyzing the situation, and deciding whether an emotional reaction is necessary can make a significant difference. Over time, practicing this level of discipline strengthens emotional control and turns it into a natural response. There is a common misconception that controlling emotions means becoming unemotional, but this is not the case. Emotional control does not mean suppressing emotions or ignoring feelings. It means managing them effectively. It means experiencing emotions without allowing them to take control. It means acknowledging anger without becoming aggressive, feeling disappointment without losing motivation, and facing fear without allowing it to dictate actions. Emotionally controlled individuals do not deny their feelings, but they do not let emotions rule their behavior either. They use emotions to their advantage rather than allowing emotions to dictate their decisions. Mastering emotional control is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop because it influences every aspect of life. Those who lack it often find themselves in constant conflict, making poor decisions and feeling overwhelmed by their emotions. They allow their feelings to dictate their actions, which leads to unnecessary stress and regret. But those who develop emotional discipline gain power over themselves and their lives. They make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and handle challenges with resilience. They do not waste time on emotional reactions that do not serve them, but instead focus on logical, strategic responses that move them forward. Emotional control is not just about avoiding negativity. It is about gaining the ability to live life on one's own terms, free from the limitations of unchecked emotions.